Lex's Dirty Maintenance Show.
The sweet power slide.
What's going on, Skid? Had an interesting no cooling call. I show up to the call and I hear a hissing, loud hissing. I look in there and I see the wiring harness blown off the compressor. I already got the screws off. As you can see, it's not plugged in. I didn't unplug it. It was just laying on the ground there. So the hissing was coming out of the pin area of the compressor. So I guess it blew one of those pins out. So we're gonna have to put in another compressor. It was hissing loud. I was like, well, at least I don't have to recover all the refrigerants out of it. This is a 2.5 ton. And I got me a new Copeland Scroll 2.5 ton compressor. So we'll put this sucker in. It blew the wiring harness off too, so I got another one of those. The one that's in there right now, it's all melted right here. So we'll have to put another one of these in as well. New filter dryer, new capacitor. So, all right, here we go. Let's make some memories. I'm gonna cut these so I can pull the top off. I gotta pull those fan wires through. Plus I gotta pull the new wiring harness for the compressor through. So I'm gonna cut all these off. Look at there, old Skid's already been here. April 21st, 2017. I'll be dog. I'm gonna be putting in a new one of those anyway. I'm here to unplug the fan so I can pull the top off. I'm gonna pop the cap. Yeah, there's the plug-in for the compressor. Goes right there. I didn't even unplug it. It just blew it right off. It was already laying on the bottom when I showed up. So it's hissing right out of this pin area here. I'll put my finger there and you can hear it. We'll take a closer look once I get it out. I'm gonna unsweat it here and here. Alright, this is for the YouTube police. Got my nitrogen hooked up. Gonna go in here, flow out. It's gonna come out the red here. Get my little indicator on. Gonna crack it just a skeeter leg. Ooh, just a little skeeter leg. You want that ball right where the red is. Braze. You got purge and braze. So you want to crack it where it's just above the hole there, in between the red. Alright, now we're ready to get this old compressor out of here. Alright, let's make some memories. Hold your breath, Skid bro. It's gonna be some gas. We'll loosen up the bolts down there, all 4 of them, and pull it out. And give them a good sanding before you plop the new one in. Give that one a good sandy. Alright, got the new one set in. Get the nitrogen going again. Just a skeeter leg. Now we're ready to braze. inspect with the mirror. I don't know if that's coming up on camera. That's a little glary. Bottom looks good. Got a little booger on there. I've done prettier, but I'm not here for beauty points. I'm here to get them cooling. Top one looks good as well. I think that's gonna hold. I'll give it a little pressure test and then we'll attack that filter dryer. Goodman, put him inside the unit. I can't put it inside the apartment like a lot of guys like to do because everything's tied together. The third floor, second floor, and it's wrapped in tape along with the drain line. So you got PVC all up in there. Everything's all tight behind the, almost behind the air handler. So can't do that. I'm just gonna put it out here. I like the challenge. All right, I've got my nitrogen, doing a pressure test now. 200 PSI. And I got me some bubbles. Gonna drop it around the, do some bubbles around the braze. I don't hear any hissing. Pressure's not going down, that's a good sign. I'll just do some bubbles to make me feel better. No bubbles, no troubles. And I got the bolts in, got it mounted again. I just pressure test, make sure that's good, then I'll move on to the filter dryer. That's how I like to do it. Oh, no, yeah, drive you super techs crazy. I don't remove the valve cores. I saw Steve Lab not do it, and a lot of the old timers I learned from never did it, so I don't remove them. One time I used to remove them. One time I did it and I broke the wings off the valve core. Couldn't get it out. Ticked me right off, so I don't remove the valve cores. So probably gonna drive a lot of you super techs crazy, but that's all right. I've got units out here 6 years ago. I did the same way and haven't been back since. Haven't had any troubles out of them. How do I know? I walk past them every morning when I pick up garbage. So I'm gonna let this hold for a few more minutes, dump the nitrogen, and then I gotta take all this apart and do the filter dryer. Making memories. Here's the old compressor. That's where it was leaking. Blew right out that terminal pin there. I mean, it was hissing loud. End of the day on a Friday, bro. Yeah, so you gotta remove this top panel. It's just 2 screws, and then you gotta take this off down at the bottom. Remove the nut off the true suction port so it can go through the hole. I mean, Goodman ought to just be ashamed of himself putting it inside like this. And you can straight pipe it. You can pull the filter dryer out and just put a piece of pipe in there, but I'm not gonna do that. I like the challenge. I'm gonna put it right back inside. Yeah, I'll take this screw out here. That's where it's mounted there. Take that screw out and you can pull it closer to you. That's what I like to do anyway. So now I'm just gonna fire up the torch and sweat this baby off. Oh, and get the nitrogen flowing. Don't give me a ticket, you two police. I'm gonna flow it. All right, just a skeeter leg. Just oh, too much. Skeeter leg skid. Just a skeeter leg. There we go. Now we're gonna sweat this sucker off. It's gonna be a little tight, so I don't know how the shot's gonna be because it is tight in here. Easy peasy. I'm gonna sand it, put the new one in. Now what you can do is get you a little 3/8 piece of pipe, swage it out, and then put that in here, and then move the filter dryer outside or inside. But I'm not doing that. I'm putting the filter dryer right back in there. I know driving some of you guys crazy. Hey, just be happy the maintenance guy did change the filter dryer. Alright. I sprayed some of this old slimy cool gel on the top and bottom of it. I try not to scorch it, but sometimes she catches a scorch. Yeah, sorry about that, it's getting nasty. The old camera fell over. I had to lay down to get the bottom of my shoulder. Bump the camera. Bottom looks good as well. Alright, pressure test. Alright, we've been sitting at 200 PSI for about 20 minutes. Don't hear any hissing. No bubbles, no troubles. I know some of you guys are like, why don't you just pressure test all with one shot? I like to just make sure my compressor's done so I don't have to go back to it. Do the compressor, then I pressure test the filter dryer. So I think we're gonna be good. I'm gonna go ahead and dump it and pull it back. All right, I got it all buttoned back up. Got the top back on, pulling a vacuum. We're almost to 300 microns. 360 microns. When it gets to 300, I'm gonna shut it down, bring it to positive pressure, and fire it up. Here's all the casualties from the battlefield. I put in a new wiring harness. Real easy to hook up. Yellow goes to your capacitor. Black goes to left side of the contactor. Red goes to the right side of the contactor. Just 3 wires. But yeah, that must have been a loose connection or something. Blew it right out of there, popped the breaker, everything, caused a dang refrigerant leak. There's the old filter dryer. That thing was about to start leaking. Man, that thing is rough looking. I also put in a new capacitor. There's the old one from 3 years ago. Yeah, and also guys, I'll leave a link to the tools that I use in the video description below. I like to leave the tools that I use. A lot of guys ask where I get things. I'll leave a description or a link to this where you can go get it and have it delivered to your house. The little nitrogen flow indicator. It's pretty sweet. And I'll leave my turbo torch. That's what I use, a turbo torch for the brazing. It just uses 1 tank, acetylene, no oxygen, so you only have to lug 1 tank around. So I'll leave the tools that I use in the description below. Alright, I just pulled the vacuum down to 300 microns. We are still under a vacuum. I hooked up the refrigerant tank. First thing I do is bleed the line, get all the air out. Then we're going to go to positive pressure. Yeah, it's actually good to release first the liquid side. Going up to positive pressure. I'll go fire it up. I'll be right back. Alright, there's all my calculations so far. Oh, it's running, by the way. It came on, hallelujah. There's my calculations, vapor pressure, line temp. Indoor wet bulb 66, outdoor 85. So target superheat is 15. We're at 38 right now. So I'm going to get to 15 degrees superheat on my gauges. I've got other videos where I show how I do all this and stuff, and I use Emerson Check and Charge. That's the app I use, Emerson Check and Charge. It's free. Alright, Skid, we are right on target. 15 degrees superheat, 4 degrees subcool. Moving some good heat out the top. They're going to be good to go. New compressor, new filter dryer. It's probably going to be the last compressor video you get out of me, because my guys I work with are like, hey man, we want to break out the torches, we want to throw some flame around, we want to replace coils and do compressors, so they want me to walk them through stuff. My coworker did a coil last week, did a great job. I walked them through one, did an awesome job. So I'm going to let them get down in some action and get them skilled up. But it would look exactly the same if I recorded another one. But they're good to go, blowing cold inside. Just in time for my battery to run out, because it is flashing red. Alright, I thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Lates.